attractive.
Well, you already have enough antiques to open up a shop.
I like old things. The older, the better.
Except for men.
What?
Oh, nothing. Just talking to myself. Another sign of advancing age.
Would you stop talking like that? Sometimes I think that's what's upsetting Elizabeth. She only seems to cry when you're home.
Since when did Elizabeth listen to what I have to say? She's probably upset because she doesn't have a boyfriend.
Don't talk sexist.
I'm not. You said the reason she doesn't see Debbie anymore is because Debbie has a boyfriend. Maybe she's jealous.
I hadn't thought of that. Maybe she is feeling left out. I'll have to talk to Alice Hathaway.
Who?
Alice Hathaway, president of the African Violet Society. Her son is in Elizabeth's class. I'll get Alice to get her son to ask Elizabeth out.
You'll do nothing of the sort. Elizabeth will get plenty of boyfriends without help from us.
Maybe we could invite them over for a family get-together.
But I don't even know the Hathaways.
Well, then it's time you did. Alice is a lovely person, such a way with violets, and I'm sure her husband and son are fine people too.
Then you don't know them either.
Maybe we could have them this weekend. No, we can't. You'll be gone fishing.
What about the weekend after that?
I hate to wait that long when Elizabeth's so unhappy.
Besides, you'll be very busy by then.
No. Actually, I plan to be busier this weekend than I've been for a long, long time.
You do?
I certainly do.
Well, if you're going to be so busy, then maybe I should cancel my fishing trip and stay home and help you out.
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
Why not? Because the things that I'm going to do aren't things you can help with. They're female things.
Oh, my gosh.
Do we have any paper? I want to copy my entry on plain paper.
Why don't you give yourself a rest? Skip this one contest.
I couldn't.
But you'll be disappointed if you don't win. And with a prize like that, the competition is sure to be very stiff.
I think I have a chance. I have a good entry.
What is it?
What is what?
What's your entry? Let's hear it.
My entry for the sudsy contest was really good. It went, suds your hair before your date. You'll
No,
be here.
not the entry to the Sudsy contest. I want to hear this one.
If you don't mind, I'd rather not tell.
Why not?
You aren't asking for something illegal, are you?
No.
What is it then?
It's personal.
Personal?
It's too personal to discuss with your family, but not too personal to write to strangers in a contest?
I just don't want to tell.
It isn't something that will embarrass us, is it?
No, I promise.
Well, just don't get your hopes up too high. With a prize like that, the competition is sure to be very stiff. And there's a lot of adult, grown-up people who have probably spent a lot of time on their entries that can write much more convincingly than you can.
They don't want what they ask for as much as I do, though. Nobody could want anything more than what I'm asking for.
My goodness. I wish Elizabeth wasn't so bent on winning that contest. She'll just be disappointed.
What do you suppose her entry says?
Whatever it is, she's certainly emotional about it.
Maybe she is asking for a boyfriend.
I hope not.
No, she said it wouldn't embarrass us.
Sometimes I think I'll be glad when Elizabeth is safely raised and all grown up. Maybe then we can stop worrying about her and start enjoying her.
Well, I enjoy her now, except for all the crying.
So do I. We'll probably even miss the crying in a few years.
I'll miss it even sooner than that. Well, I guess I better go start packing.
Packing for what?
For my trip, of course.
But you don't leave for 3 days.
But I have lots to get ready.
Well, Russ said all you would take is your sleeping bag and your fishing gear.
Well, that may be enough for Russ, but I need to pack some clothes.
I thought sure it would come today.
I'm going to the mailbox.
All right.
Mom, do we have any hospital insurance?
Sure, why do you ask?
I was just wondering, dollar bills can add up pretty fast, and
You don't have to worry about things like that. We have a very good hospital plan. And in fact, we carry enough life insurance too, so that if anything should ever happen to your father, you and I will be well provided for.
Will you sit down? You're gonna wear a hole in the floor with all that pacing.
Why don't you call? It's almost 3 o'clock.
Are you sure they're gonna notify the winner today? Maybe you made a mistake.
I didn't make a mistake. I've read the rules 100 times. The winner of the Heart's Desire contest will be notified no later than 6 p.m. Friday, June 22nd. That's today.
They probably got so many entries, it's taken them longer to judge them than what they thought. Maybe they extended the deadline.
They can't. I need the money by tomorrow, or there won't be any flowers for Harold's funeral. And I promised the casket man a down payment, and oh, Millie, I'm getting scared. What if I don't win?
Then you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do.
If I don't win, I think I'll kill myself. And you can have the funeral for me.
Well, you still got 3 hours.
I was hoping they'd call before Harold gets home. I'd rather not have him here while I talk to the contest officials.
Why don't we go ahead and take Harold's bag over to my house and put it in the car? That way, when they get home from work, they can leave right away.
You mean bags, plural. Look at all that luggage he's taking.
All woman, do you?
Oh, no.
I wonder who it is.
I don't want to know.
Oh, of course you want to know. It wouldn't be normal if you didn't want to know who your husband's having an affair with.
I just can't believe it. We've always been so happy. At least I've been happy, and I thought Harold was happy too. Till the last few weeks when he started worrying about getting old.
That's probably when the affair started.
Do you think so? No, we're jumping to conclusions. Just because Harold is leaving me and running away to Mexico doesn't mean he's having an affair. This is a single ticket.
Of course it is. He had her ticket sent to her. It's always done that way. Don't you ever go to the movies?
Oh, Millie, I just thought of something terrible. If Harold leaves for Mexico tonight, he won't be here for his funeral.
What a rotten thing to do. At least he could wait until after the funeral to leave you.
But he doesn't know about the funeral.
Then I think you ought to tell him.
How can I tell him?
You just say, Harold, please stick around for a few more days, because I'm planning on giving you a surprise funeral for your birthday.
That would ruin the surprise. It isn't any good unless it's a surprise. Besides, if I tell him, he'll know that I know that he's leaving me.
I just can't believe it. I've read about men who desert their families, but I never figured Harold to be one of them.
I'm gonna miss him so.
Oh, of course you are.
Did I get a phone call? Were there any messages? Mom, were there any calls for me?
Just a minute, Elizabeth.
Don't shout, Elizabeth. You didn't get any calls.
I didn't. It's almost 3:30. I thought for sure there'd be a message. What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter.
You've been crying.
It's nothing. Just a little misunderstanding.
It's all right, Mom. You can talk to me.
I think she'd rather not right now, huh?
It's about Daddy, isn't it?
What makes you ask that?
You don't have to pretend. I already know about Daddy.
You do?
I heard him talking to Russ one night.
What did he say?
He said he just wants to slip quietly away.
Oh, no.
You have to be brave, Mom. We want to make his last days with his happy days.
How can I be happy knowing I'll never see your father again?
We'll have our memories.
You're taking this awfully well, Elizabeth. I'm glad you're not bitter toward your father.
Why would I be bitter? I've had the sweetest, nicest, most wonderful father any girl could ever want.
Oh.
Oh, what a kind thing to say.
Looked like the wake started a little early. What is going on here?
Nothing's
We're
going
fine.
on.
Now you know. Billy, what's the matter?
It is just so sad watching a nice family like this just fall apart.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Jansen, representing Heart's Desire.
You represent Heart's Desire. you have to say can be said right here in front of everybody.
No, it can't. You don't understand.
I understand that there's been too much secrecy around here already. Mr. Jansen, please state your business.
I think we better leave.
I think so too.
You stay right where you are. I may need witnesses.
Please, Harold, I need to see Mr. Jansen alone.
Actually, it's Miss Anderson that I want to see. Is that you?
Well, no, but
Miss Anderson, you mean you're here to see Elizabeth?
That's right. Miss Elizabeth Anderson. Is she here?
Yes, I'm.
Be quiet, Elizabeth.
I don't believe it.
Let me make sure I understand. You represent Heart's Desire, and you're here to see Elizabeth.
That's right.
I'm Elizabeth.
It's Elizabeth who's involved with Mr. Heart's Desire.
And Edna made the motel reservation for him.
what motel reservation?
How do you do, Elizabeth? I'm very happy to.
There are laws against guys like you. Do you realize that Elizabeth is only 15 years old?
Dee, what are you doing? Mr. Jansen is.
I know what Mr. Jansen is. You don't need to explain. No wonder she's been crying so much lately. She's too young for this sort of thing. This African Violet song was bad enough, but this? What were you thinking of?
But Harold, Elizabeth's been entering contests since she was 9 years old. Why would this one be any different?
What one?
The Heart's Desire contest. Mr. Jansen said he's from the Heart's Desire contest.
Heart's Desire is a contest?
I'm Elizabeth Anderson. I'm the one you want to see. I'm sorry about my father, but he hasn't been himself lately, and he didn't understand why you're here. And, well, why are you here? Did I win?
It's my pleasure to inform you, Elizabeth, that you are the grand prize winner in the Heart's Desire contest.
Wow! Did you hear that? I won!
I don't believe it. Elizabeth finally won something.
Not just something. She won a scholarship to Tank University.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is she right? Did I win a scholarship?
Why, I know there's no scholarship. You want a trip to the Mayo Clinic for your father. Your critically ill father. All expenses paid. The best medical help in the whole United States.
I thought you asked for a scholarship to Tank University.
I was going to, but that was before I knew about Daddy.
Why would I want to go to the Mayo Clinic?
You don't have to pretend any longer. I know all about your illness, and I think you're the bravest man that ever lived.
His illness?
What illness?
The illness you're dying from.
Dying? I'm not dying. At least not dying from any illness.
You aren't?
Of course not.
Whatever gave you such an idea?
But I heard you. You were talking to Russ one night, and you said you were just going to slip quietly away. You gave him your fishing pole to remember you by.
Well, I didn't mean I was going to die. I just meant that, well,
He just meant he's going to slip quietly away to Mexico.
how did you know that?
I baked some cookies to put in your suitcase for a surprise. And when I put them in your suitcase, I found this plane ticket.
You're going to Mexico? I thought you were going to die.
I hope she isn't too disappointed.
Then Elizabeth's statement was based on
afraid not. You see,
We may as well tell her, Harold. She has to know sooner or later. Elizabeth, honey, your father is leaving us.
Leaving us? You mean you two are getting a divorce?
Oh, it is so sad.
Yes, a divorce. Your father prefers to live in Mexico.
now wait a minute. Not prefers. I do not prefer to live in Mexico. I prefer to live right here in my very own home. I am fleeing to Mexico to save my very own life.
Is someone after you? Are you a spy?
Who would be after you? Are you in some kind of trouble?
As if you didn't know.
You might as well confess, then. Harold knows all about the murder.
There's been a murder here.
Not yet. It's scheduled for tomorrow.
There's going to be a murder?
What are you talking about?
We are talking about my murder. The one you have so conveniently planned for this weekend.
You must be going crazy.
Does that Mayo Clinic have a psychiatric ward?
Why would I want to murder my own husband?
So you can be free.
Free to marry Roy.
Roy who?
Roy who? Listen to her. I suppose you're going to deny that Roy isn't coming here from Oklahoma City.
Well, no, I won't deny that.
To say nothing of Swan's mortuary for Monday morning.
Oh, you found out. My surprise is ruined.
Yes, I found out. And a lucky thing for me that I did too. I may be getting old and weak, but I'm not senile yet.
You're not even very weak.
I can still get away from that murderer that you hired.
Murderer? You actually thought I was going to have you murdered?
Weren't you?
How can you think such a thing?
Well, it wasn't too hard when I was reading the list of flowers, organist, casket.
Oh, you found the list. I was going to pretend that you died. I was going to have a fake funeral. All our friends would come. You'd see how much everyone loves you. And you wouldn't care if you're 50 years old or 100. It was going to be a party. A 50th funeral party.
You're right. She does get some crazy ideas.
You weren't going to have me killed.
Of course not. I love you.
But what about Roy and the Starburst?
That was part of the surprise. I thought you'd like to see your brother again.
Then you weren't having an affair with him.
With Roy, that hairy ape.
Oh, honey, I am so relieved.
What are you going to Mexico for?
Oh, I'm not going. Not now. I was only going to Mexico because I thought your mother wanted to get rid of me. So I was just going to slip quietly away and save her the trouble.
And I thought you wanted to start a new life in Mexico without me.
She even thought there might be another woman.
Oh, there'll never be another woman for me.
There'll never be another man for me.
Even when I'm old and bald.
The older you get, the more I love you. Just like the furniture.
Then you're definitely not dying, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, I've never felt better in my life. I apologize for hitting you, Mr. Jansen. I thought you were here for something else from Elizabeth.
Apology accepted.
So, I guess this means I didn't win the contest.
Well, according to the rules, the winner of the Hearts Desire contest in cash.
Wow.
You obviously made a mistake because of misunderstanding.